You are watching a master at work.
The kid's back!
Alright, so we all seen when Stephen A got pressed by LeBron the other day, and he went on airs the next day and much more humble than he normally is, and was talking about, as a father, I saw him approaching me as a father, one father to another, yada yada yada. Real calm, real humble, real respect. But now he's had some time to process it, and he's seen LeBron and Richard Jefferson laughing about the situation, so he's changed his stance a little bit. Let's see what he got to say. You know what I think really happened? Before we get into it, hit that subscribe button. The channel's growing. I appreciate that. Hit the like button as well. But you know what I think happened? You ever get into a situation, especially for like if somebody who's probably not prepared for the situation, and then he went over it in his head 1,000 times, like, damn, I should have did this, damn, I should have said that. And I think now the whole thing, and like looking back on it, he's probably saying to himself, like, damn, I wish I operated differently. You could tell by this video right here. Check this.
What do you make of LeBron confronting you in the aftermath of that situation?
I thought it was weak. I thought it was some bullshit. But in the moment, I knew that I was listening to a father. Here's what happened. I'm represented by William Morris Endeavor. The founder of William Morris Endeavor, Ari Emanuel, had courtside seats right next to the Lakers bench. He had Larry David with him, star of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm sitting with them. I get there in the first quarter. I'm sitting courtside, and I stand up, and then I got my head turned. And then I turn back around, and a lot of people thought this was the end of the game or something like that. This was in the third quarter. Apparently, LeBron had walked out of the timeout, and I turn around, and he's right here in my face. He said, yo, you got to stop talking shit about my son. You got to stop fucking with my son. That's my son. That's my son. And I was like, what? He said, nah, fuck that. I said, yo, let's talk later. He's like, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. You got to stop fucking with my son. And I said, all right, though. And
LeBron was on timing, you hear me? Like, he already knew, like, all right, I'm about to unleash on this thing. He wasn't trying to hear nothing. Well, let's talk later. I don't even believe he said, let's talk later. I think he was so stunned and surprised. LeBron walked over to him mid-game, mind you. This was like the beginning of the fourth quarter that LeBron walked over there. So I think when he see LeBron, all 6'8", 225 pounds, walk over the dude, and he towering over you like, the fuck with my son. He probably was like, yo, all right, bro, my bad. It's like, he ain't want no smoke. Like, he probably was like, yo, is he down to get ejected? Is he down to get a fine behind slapping me? I'm not trying to find out. I ain't trying to get embarrassed. He ain't had that Shannon Sharp in him. You see Shannon Sharp, when they came and pressed Shannon Sharp and was trying to talk crazy to him, Shannon was ready to tear the whole arena up. Like, what's up? What's up? You want to do something? Let's go. Stephen A ain't had that dog in him. I think that's what he looking back at now. Like, damn, I should have handled that a little bit different.
Walked off. So I remember during a timeout in the first quarter, seeing Bronny. And Bronny looked over at me, and he had this sad look on his face. And I'm imagining Pop saw that shit, and it hit him. Yeah. And he couldn't hold it, and he rolled up.
Did Bronny probably see Stephen A and look at him a little crazy? I'm gonna give him that. Did LeBron see Bronny see him and then he felt the way? I'm not buying that part. I think LeBron was gonna get off on Stephen A whenever he seen him, and this just happened to be the place. Like, I don't think he saw Bronny looking sad and was like, oh, that's the man making my son. Nah, I think he had that on his chest already. Like, when I see dude, I'm going off.
And so when I went on the air the next morning, first things first, believe it or not, I know this is shocking for people to believe, but I didn't have any intentions on talking about it until I woke up that morning and saw that the shit had gone viral. Once the shit had gone viral, the bosses at ESPN, now you gotta talk about it. This is you and him. You gotta talk about it. I said, fine.
The bosses said, we just gave you $100 million. You gonna talk about this. You gonna give us a return on our investment. You gonna talk about it on Sports Center. You gonna talk about it on your YouTube show. I know they got a piece of that too. They was like, you gonna address this. you think this is, brother? We need the ratings.
So I go on the air and I said, the first thing that I'm going to do is establish that this was a father talking to me, not a player. And that was what threw me off. And I was glad, even though I thought that he misrepresented the argument, I was glad he did. Because you see, what he was really talking about, which was confirmed with his conversation with Richard Jefferson, is that I was talking about him as a father. And so what happens is that had he said that to me, then I wouldn't have been thrown off. I'd have came right back at him. Yes, I was. I was talking about you. You did this shit, which I'll get to in a second. But because he didn't do that, I said,
It's the part that he was looking in the mirror when he got home, saying to himself, like, I should have said this. I should have said. He about to get it off now. Notice, you know what I mean? Hindsight is always 20/20, but I'm telling you as I know, he looked back at that moment like, damn, I wish I'd have did this or said something differently. So now he gonna have his little chance to get it off. Everything he couldn't muster up to say to Bron in person.
Fine, you let it go. Mind you, I just agreed to my contract. Courtside. That day was when it was announced. It's all over, everywhere.
We talked about
I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's a nationally televised game. The cameras are rolling, and I'm like, if I do anything, this is gonna be a scene. Now, we can sit up here in front all we want to and act like we don't work for somebody. Damn it, I work for Walt Disney. And if I had gotten into some shit with him at courtside right there at that moment, no matter how right I would have been, it would have been wrong. And I was like, I'm not gonna do this. But once I saw the tape of him talking to Richard Jefferson Saturday night in Boston, that was when I got really pissed, because that was confirmation. Now let's get to the father thing. And I'm so glad y'all asked me about this shit, because all I would ask is that I've been around for 30 years. Tell me the parent that said they heard me talking about them. I'm
so glad y'all asked me about this shit, because I really wanted a chance to say these things, but another opportunity didn't present itself. And I couldn't say it in front of Bron because I was nervous he might have slapped the hell out of me. Him and Marquise walked over there. They were looking really tall and intimidating. I didn't want to get embarrassed in front of the white people, but if I had the heart, this is what I would say.
Never done it. What happened was, this man was the one that said, you want me, draft him. I'll come play anywhere he's at. It ain't even about the money. This man is the one who said he's better than some of the NBA players are right now when he was in high school. If you go back and look at the tape, back then I said, stop. You can't do this. If you do that shit, you're bringing more pressure on your son. LeBron, stop. I said it then. This is before he got drafted. Stop doing this. He goes to USC. He got the heart ailment. I'm like, thank God he's okay. He gonna be all right. But I'm not gonna go see him at USC, just like I didn't go see him at Sierra Canyon, because like, I ain't see Melo's son. I heard your son is all world. I ain't see him. Your son, I never saw these guys until they came pro, because I know. No, it's not that. Okay. I know that because of who I am and what I've established for myself in this industry, if I walk into an arena, everybody is looking for me to critique that person. And I don't want to do that because they on the come up. I'm not covering college. I'm covering pro.
And they kids.
Huh? And they kids. Well, I'm saying that, but if I was a college reporter, then I would have had to, but I wasn't. So why am I going to be there? I didn't want to put that extra pressure. So I never went. I went on national television and announced to the world, I'm not going to see him. He goes to USC. I'm not going to see him. It's too much. It's too much. And then now he's got to overcome this heart ailment. So I can't judge him. But then they said, oh, he going pro. So then once you say he's going pro, okay, you're talking to the scouts and the evaluators and everybody else. Yo, man, This is them. He'll be lucky to be a second round pick. He'll be lucky. He ain't ready, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I ain't seen him, y'all. I haven't seen him. Then all of a sudden, Rich Paul and others at Clutch, and then the story headlines follow. Boston might be interested. Golden State might be interested. Phoenix might be interested. Clippers might be. You start hearing all of this.
All of which I think was probably manufactured. Like either teams just trying to use that to keep their name in the mix, or Rich Paul and LeBron team making it sound like he's more in demand than what he is, so the Lakers will pick him because he was picked like third to last or something like that. I don't know how interested a lot of these other teams were, but those were the stories at the time for sure.
And you like, this could be true, or this could be them wielding their magic to make it look such a way. I say nothing. He gets drafted by the Lakers, which everybody knew was going to happen because, the skids were greased, and he gets drafted. I still say nothing. He goes into it's opening night. Now remember, most cats talk about the league. I cover it. What I mean by that is that you can give your opinion. You might not be on the phone with the commissioner. You might not be on the phone with the executive VP. You might not be on the phone with other people that work in these offices. I am. So because of that, I'm hearing all of this. Yeah, we just gonna go along with it. Open the night I'm talking about. Open the night. Him, Bronny. We just gonna go along with it. Or you hearing the Lakers are just going along with it. You're hearing this stuff. Now, I'm not saying they told me that, meaning the commissioner or Jeannie Buss, but I'm saying you're hearing that from those organizations. So I'm getting all of this. I still say nothing. I'm cool. I'm at crypto.com arena. I'm one of those cats standing.
Staples Center.
Ken Griffey, Steve Senior and Junior, who all stars, Hall of Famer, and Ken Griffey Jr. They got them there. And again, I've been covering it for 30 years, not NBA, sports. You understand? So how you think it's all looking to me? It's a little bit too choreographed. But I'm still. I'm still like this. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking, let's have this moment because LeBron deserves it. The brother, I got him number 2 all time behind Jordan, right? He's done so much for the league. He's generated so much money. I want to hear about Bronny and the $8 million. As far as I'm concerned, LeBron underpaid. This shit, that's $8 million he should have had in his pocket. It's no big deal to me. But the one thing I did say was that one game right there is the moment. Now you got to go to the G League and earn your stripes. Instead, he's playing and playing and playing. And I'm getting stats, and he go against Philly. They put him in the first quarter, and Tyrese and them gave it to him. And then they plaster on SportsCenter 0.3 points, 0.3 rebounds, 0.4 assists, blah, blah, blah. And I said, damn. Why? Because I'm like, now I can't ignore it. Because how am I doing my job? If now you put me in a position where because they put the stats up, everyone is blowing it up. They're putting it on all their social media pages. And it's like, how all of that's happening? But Stephen A. Smith got nothing to say. I can't get away with it no more. So I go on the air and I say the same thing I said over the summer. Yo, LeBron, if we see this, you're his dad and you're a basketball savant. You must see this. Don't do this. Because you're putting him under such a microscope. It's going to be too much for him to overcome. Give him a chance. So that's what I said. And because I prefaced it by saying, as a dad, the only reason I said as a dad is because you marketed yourself as his dad to help him get into the league. You didn't do that. Melo didn't do that, or it hasn't yet, and I know he wouldn't.
D-Wade,
Tim Hardaway Sr., Rick Barry, the list goes. None of them did that. None of them. He's the only one. And I said, yo, that's why I'm saying this to you. I don't want to do this. I know your intentions are honorable. Go back and watch the whole tape of me saying it. I know your intentions are honorable. I know you don't mean harm. But there's some vultures out here. And they gonna come for him. And how many?
Yes, none of the other NBA fathers did that. But also none of them were currently still in the league while their son was coming up to be able to even try to pull him. And none of them, frankly, got the pull LeBron got. Like, the Lakers is LeBron's organization right now. Like, and they're going to do whatever it is that he wants to keep him happy. They gave him his coach. They gave him his son.
Times over the years to get to your point in terms of what you asked me about what you expect from me, Stephen A. Blah, blah. How many? Find the brothers in the industry that will tell you I did not give them a lookout. I go up to them all the time. Yo, come in. I'm not going to be able to help you if you get to this point. You need to stop this shit right now because it's coming. It's coming. That to me is where I reach back and I pay back by giving cats the heads up of the minefields because I've been here for 30 years. I got fired. I lost my job. They thought my career was over. I've been through all of this shit, all of it. And I'm like, yo, I know where the minefields lie. And I'm telling you what's coming. And then this shit go down and everybody act like I never said none of this. I'm like, I said, this is fucked up. Because if you go, it's all on tape. If you go back, I gave the heads up.
That's too easy for people to do. That's too easy for people to do.
Right.
So we shouldn't uplift our kids? Like, we can't
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You said what?
We can't uplift our kids? We can't say he's better than some of the players.
But you gotta be truthful.
What you mean true? It's my son. I think your son suck. Your son suck. Not. I don't give a fuck. But it's my son.
Your son suck. He suck.
No.
Yes.
No. But
Yeah,
don't.
not in his heart.
No,
Yeah, I understand. Listen, you can be that dad,
What is it?
but you made it to the high. You're not trying to live, but you're not trying to live vicariously. You're not
So
trying to.
obviously he don't suck.
You're not trying to live vicariously
I'm
through your
seeing something that y'all
son. Nick.
seeing now, and I seen it. So
I'm not saying Bronny suck, but I'm just saying.
But you just tell
You
me I
honest.
can't
You
uplift my
honest. Yes,
child.
you can be that. Listen. I coach Little League rec girls basketball. Right? Trust me when I tell you, some of them parents being there cheering they fucking heart out for their child.
Yeah.
You supposed to, shit. It's my child.
You see that product. They ain't got nobody athletic in their family tree.
Whoa, man.
Listen,
They're looking for an anomaly.
They ain't got athletic bone in their body. They ain't got athletic bone in their family tree. And they got their child out here and they out in that motherfucker with signs and shit.
Right.
Go get them.
But I'm saying this all
Your
started
child need a
because
helmet.
you said my child is better than some of the players in the NBA.
They don't mean that. Wait, don't you coach your son on the girl?
No. Boy, no, I thought.
He disrespect me.
No, I thought.
No.
He said, don't you coach his son on your girl's team?
I ain't gonna do this in front of Stephen A. No, this is not.
I
We got
thought-
company. We got company.
No.
Don't y'all play in the same league?
I got a 6-year-old son.
Yeah, my
He got
son,
a
nice and
son.
five. Nice.
Oh,
No, I got a no fool
I thought you was coaching.
ass boy.
But the other part that I would bring to you, Swag, is this.
That's all I'm saying.
Because you played in the NBA, it ain't just about how you feel. It's about how you know what's coming.
And then I got another.
And so now, as a parent, you got an obligation to protect from what's coming.
To your point, right? I used to tell KJ all the time. Internally, I see it. You have what it takes to play in the NBA, right? All you got to do is keep getting better.
Right.
Right? This is my whole message, right? Keep getting better.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure Bron is telling Bronny the same thing, but it was interrupted. Not saying that he can't get there, that he would never get there.
I think he got a chance.
But it was interrupted.
And they pivoted.
And they pivoted in a way that we all said, we all took pause in it, right? We're like, but that's their family, that's their decision.
Right.
So we all gonna sit back and whatever comes with it, comes with it. And we're the same, I'm the same one that sit on this couch and say, we're gonna treat him as the 55th pick, right? My son was the 52nd pick. I fucking get it, right? it worked out for KJ in year 5. He listened, he got better, he did things, he was in a decent situation to play. It just, right? It's just unfortunate my name ain't to that. Where everything that KJ has done, everything that he's doing is being critiqued.
But it's help.
Right? It's help.
Because with you were a rough rider. Everybody know you could defend your ass off. Everybody, you wasn't scared of shit. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't gonna be some soft ass playing alongside you. You wasn't having it. No one disrespects your son.
Because they scared of him. Just tell him.
But it's not. But no, it's not about being scared of him. No. It's his makeup.
It's a bully.
No, it's his makeup.
If you don't tell him, he's gonna make sure you tell him.
That you was a bully.
Tell him.
Bully shit.
Don't listen to these motherfuckers.
But what I'm saying is,
Underdog user, not on-clip bully.
he was. So he comes into the league, but it's not just about respect for him as a player. It's respect for how he handled his son coming into the league. You said, listen, you talk. I had to ask you about your son the other day. I've been hearing about his son for a while. I had to ask him about him. You understand what I'm saying? You got to ask. I mean, Melo, listen to Melo talk about how he had to step back. You know, he was desperate for his son to go to Syracuse, but he didn't want to influence him. You said, Melo never talked about his son like that. You had to ask him. And so you see a lot of this stuff happen, and then you see this. And I'm like, so as a media member, now, this is the part y'all may not take into consideration. You don't have to care, but we do. If I don't say nothing. Wait a minute now. I would have said something about somebody else. I'd have said something before.
Okay.
How long am I supposed to go without doing my job? The brother is in the NBA. He is wearing a Lakers uniform. So it's like, wait a minute here. You got to a point where it left you no choice. So then all you could do is speak respectfully, but honestly. And then everybody was caught up in as a father. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on,
like
man.
this, Steve. This how simple it goes. It goes this simple.
Please.
That's it.
You've always been stand-up Steve. So whenever it's a situation that we looking to Steve to stand up and they're trying to take that away from you, you got to look at it. From my perspective, I'm like, I'm always the one that's going to say something. Right? And I'm going to be always the one that's the hater. Because what I'm saying is in opposition to what everyone either believes or has been told.
Okay.
So I've always taken the Stephen A. Smith seat.
Okay.
I'm going to say it. Yeah, I said it. I know some of y'all feel that way, and I know some of y'all watching what I'm watching. But it's not a critique. It's just what I'm seeing. It's an observation.
Somebody want to play with their brother like that. The ass.
And I think that's really what it boils down to. It's like, all right, a lot of what Stephen A is saying, we get it. You know what I mean? Like, your point of view is legit, but you ain't keep that same energy. And that's what matters. Keep that same energy when you see people, bro.